We are back from Maine.
Yes, we are.
And I am still in vacation mode.
I wish I was still on vacation, but as you can see, I had to go back to work.
He had to shave that amazing beard that he had finally had the chance to grow. Sad day for me and the kids. We all loved it.
Yeah, I don't know, 7 years and I'll be able to retire. 30 years in the military is going to give me a beard.
That's right. He'll earn a beard.
This is Mike. I'm Stephanie. Our boys Brennan and Finn with Jarvis and the Rainmaker. We're the Boyles. Join us as we hop from place to place, pin our map, and go on adventures. Some local, some not so local. Hop, pin, and go.
So we got to add a couple of stickers to our map this time. We have one of those sticker maps like a lot of people do in their RVs, and so we got to add Vermont, Maine, and Massachusetts on the way back. We hit Massachusetts, so you know, Maine again. It is just one of those places that we can't wait to get back to. You know, we spent a lot of time there, but you know, we get this first little section of clip. We're going to have Naples and Portland area. We spent a little bit of time there, but we're going to try and get quickly to the real heart of what we thought Maine really touched our hearts with. But so we stayed at Naples KOA.
We did.
And that's really close to Lake Sebago.
Sebago?
I don't know. I heard both of them said that way, and there's a couple of Mainers that live down the road from us here.
Mainers.
Yeah, they are maniacs. They call it Sebago. So, and then others up there called it Sebago. So, Sebago. I just want to go back.
True.
So, there's a lot to do in the campground. Because we had gotten our COVID test, we had to quarantine there. We couldn't leave the campsite and really the campground, and we couldn't interact with other people or do any of the things in the businesses. So we stuck there for the days that it took to get our results back for the COVID test, and there is so much to do in that campground.
There is, and I'll tell you, it's probably one of the nicest KOAs I think we've ever stayed in. It was clean, beautiful. Parts of it seemed brand new.
It was, yeah.
Just built it. The kids' playground was incredible. In fact, during the summer months, this was the first time they had ever had water slides that they had inflated, and it was a much needed reprieve from the heat for those kids. The sites were huge, spacious, just tons of room, and there were lots of other RVers there who appeared to be, and I don't want to say seasonal, they looked permanent, didn't they?
Yeah, there was a lot of seasonal sites there, and it's an old campground. I mean, the campground has been there for a long time, and they've just added on as they went. You could tell that they've really invested in the facilities there. Nice pool, nice shop. Just a great place to go. So if you're looking to just get into Maine and see sort of the southern section of Maine, Naples KOA is definitely a great place to pin.
Cue the montage. went to Jay's Oysters in the town of Portland, and Finley had his first oyster, which was very exciting.
Yeah, Jay's was really great. We got to park right there on the water on the dock and walk right up.
Ooh, I want to say one quick thing. Portland Cake Company. Amazing cakes. Oh my gosh. I think her name was Janet.
I don't remember.
I think it was Janet. Janet, your Portland Cake Company cakes are incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. And link in the description, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So we went to Portland Head Light also, which is one of the most photographed lights out there. And being in the Coast Guard, lighthouses are pretty tight to my my culture. Portland Head didn't disappoint. It's an amazing location. Just every angle of that lighthouse is a Thomas Kinkade painting again.
I find that Maine is a Thomas Kinkade painting.
Yeah, they should just rename it Thomas Kinkade State. Something like that. I don't know. I love Thomas Kinkade, as if you can't tell. In any case, Portland Head Light, definitely worth pinning. And it's a historic place. And if you ever really want to know what a lighthouse really looks like, that's definitely the one. Definitely a good place to go. We you know, the park itself for Portland Head was fun. We had to wear masks, which everywhere in Maine you had to wear masks. So we wore them everywhere. And sometimes we'd find half of us had a mask on and the other half didn't, because half of us were close to people and the other half weren't. So you'll see some photos where two of us have a mask on and the others don't. After the lighthouse, we went and checked out some breweries in the area. Allagash is one of the largest ones, and we were lucky because not only were they open, but there were like 4 or 5 around the area there that you could just walk from one to the other. And they had a couple food trucks out. It was an amazing time. Definitive Brewing was one of my favorites, and I think, you know, another one was Battery Steel that we enjoyed.
Foundation Brewing was probably mine.
Yeah, Foundation was nice too. Everywhere was really safe, so we didn't feel like there was any risk. Everyone's just trying to figure this out like everybody else in the world. So I think this place is doing it great. They had everybody wearing masks, and you know, everything was spread out. We were outside, and it wasn't too hot. It was great.
Stop at the Bite into Maine. What is that?
It's a food truck.
Yeah,
it's like an Airstream.
Airstream.
Yeah.
Yes. Stop there and get their 3 lobster roll sampler. Incredible.
Yeah, my favorite was the Maine Traditional. That's the one with the mayonnaise on it. I liked that one.
I think
it's cold.
So too.
Everything you get up there in a lobster roll is cold for the most part. Warm lobster rolls are apparently South New England, and Northern New England is where the cold lobster rolls are from. Cool. Once we wrapped up in Portland, we headed up the coast. We stayed off the interstate and took some of the state routes going up through the coastal area there of Maine, and I highly recommend that. You know, the interstate's fast and it's easy, but it's a lot more fun to drive the state routes.
Absolutely gorgeous scenery. We
use RV Trip Wizard. If you've never heard of it, we'll put a link in the description, but that program, you put in all your RV characteristics, and then it will help you get a route that is not too low for your RV, or a road that you wouldn't want to drive an RV on.
Right.
It will try to direct you more often than not into the interstates, but if you pull it into the state routes, it'll help get you through some of those and let you know what the details are. It was an excellent drive up. You got to watch the water. We would come in and out of the coastal areas, and we worked our way from the south towards the north to the down east section of Maine. Loved it. Belfast, excellent little city there.
Gorgeous.
And we stayed at, our site was located at Moorings RV Resort, Oceanfront RV Resort.
Right.
Great spot. They are on the kind of a hillside area there, right in front of the Penobscot Bay, which is just absolutely gorgeous. And we were lucky from booking so far in advance, we were able to get a site that's right on the water. They have really high tidal fluctuations there, so half the day you've got water right up to your site, the other half of the day you're looking at the beach and there's the intertidal zone, and there's so much to do just to kind of observe how that happens and let the boys go out and play.
The coastline is very rocky. It's not a sandy beach, so this isn't a build a sandcastle beach with your kids. This is a skip rocks on the ocean kind of beach.
Yeah, Finn got to learn how to skip rocks for the first time, which was
adorable.
awesome, and they got to explore and pick up hermit crabs and all kinds of other types of crabs and things that were crawling around in the water there. And then we took some video of the actual campground. You'll see all the sites laid out. Our site was amazing. We didn't have a neighbor to one side, we did on the other, but we had the beach walkway in between, so it was cool. Everybody walked by every so often, and you could wave and say hello. And there's even one RV that you might recognize in the campground. Let's see if you pick that up before we tell you who it was.
who it was?
Yeah, that was Tara and Chad from Changing Lanes. We were really lucky, totally unaware of where they were. They have very high security with the way where they go and what times they leave, so we haven't mentioned it until now. But Tara and Chad pulled in. We were on our way out to go into the town, and we saw their RV, and I said, "Isn't that Lucille?" And then I saw Chad. It was great.
It was outstanding. We wrote about it in our blog, and we'll link that below. There's a pretty detailed story about our embarrassing first encounter.
Yeah, we were fan club people. So, in any case, we did get a sticker and a couple koozies out of them, and I traded a coin for that with Chad and gave him a Coast Guard Chiefs coin.
About a mile down the road from Moorings is Young's Lobster Pound, and I think that was our first real Maine lobster roll, but it wasn't a roll, it was a hamburger bun, which somebody said to me, "Oh my gosh, that's an egregious mistake," but I loved it. I mean,
amazing.
The chunks of lobster, it was the tail chunks, the huge claw pieces, all of it was delicious. Delicious, and probably the best scallops we've ever had in our life. I meant to take a picture of the scallops, but we inhaled them before I had an opportunity to take a photo or a video. So just know that if you go there, get the scallops sauteed. Incredible.
Don't look at them.
No, they came two ways, grilled or sauteed.
Gotcha.
Yeah. From there, we moved along to Acadia National Park, and I'm gonna let Mike talk about this part.
Yeah, so Acadia is one of the nation's gems. They call it the jewel. I
see why.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. And if you ever have an opportunity to go up into New England and you are a national park person or an outdoors person, this is one of those parks you need to see. There's a lot of history.
Yes.
You know, I won't go into all the details about it, but this park was founded on the idea that people of this country could go and see the outdoors in an untouched state and do it in a way that was friendly to the environment. So they created these carriage roads that were meant for non-vehicles emitting pollutants to be able to see. So they've left those in place. So you go there, you park your car or your truck, and then you either ride a bike or you hike. And we did both. It was excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. We took our red power bikes out. This is one of the reasons we bought them.
This is the reason we bought them. And thank goodness we did, because that entire mountain that we did, and I think we did 18 miles that day, that entire mountain was all uphill. I don't recall one section of it that was downhill at any point. So thankfully we had those bikes, because I don't know if the kids could have done it, but I certainly couldn't have.
There were some hardcore mountain bikers out there. I'm pretty sure they got about 4 miles in that day. And then they rode back down those 4 miles they rode, because it seemed like every road was uphill. It was. There were 4 mountains we rode, and they were all just absolutely gorgeous. You had big payoffs with the rides.
Yes. Overlooks. There were like lakes. The whole thing was incredible.
It was great. This is the first year they've allowed e-bikes into Acadia National Park. It's sort of a controversial thing within the outdoors community, but they do allow e-bikes there, and they only allow the ones that allow you to have pedal assist, so no throttling. You can't ride a motor scooter or whatever through the roads there. They would allow them on the regular roads just as any other thing, but when you want to go out on the carriage roads, you had to have an e-bike that was pedal assist only. So we took advantage of that, and it was a great opportunity to see the park in a way that we probably would never ever get to see, because I'm not going to go there and hike 35 miles, you know. So it was nice to just run all the carriage roads. We taught the boys prior to going here how to be safe on the bikes. So we went to several parks within the neighborhood and in this area here in Virginia where we live, and we taught them our formation. So you'll see some of that in the video. We have a lineup of how we ride down the path, so we stay single file, and we're courteous to other people. We also bought communications headset pieces that go on our helmets so that we can talk to the boys, mostly so we can scream at them.
Right.
Yeah, because it is the way we keep them in line, is it? Brennan, you know, that type of thing.
Jesus, Finley, you're too close to the road.
Yeah. Whenever I hear her say Jesus, I know that someone's about to die on their bike or something.
I'm preventing the death on the bike. That's
a call for help. But no, we did. We taught the boys, and we speed limited them, so we kept well within the regulations of what the park wanted, but also it's for safety, right? I mean, and who wants to try and ride a bike at 20 miles an hour and not see the scenery you're there to see, right?
Right, and it's also fun to be able to say to the kids, hey, look off to the left, without screaming 5 bikes ahead or whatever. It's really fun to have little conversations throughout the bike ride that's at almost a whisper, but you can hear them with you. It's a lot of fun. I think the kids get a kick out of it. They tell stories while they're biking, and it's adorable. So that's a really excellent add to a bike ride if you have a family or a group is to be on the same intercom system while you're biking.
One of the effects of the pandemic is that we had the park pretty much to ourselves.
We did.
It was great. We would have whole stretches of the park that we wouldn't see another soul. And then we'd see a couple, and then we would come along to an area where, you know, it was just worth checking out, and it wouldn't be a crowd to wait for or any of that kind of a thing. So it was pretty spectacular. If you were going to ever get an opportunity like this, it would be a once in a lifetime for Acadia.
We came up on a waterfall, and it was absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, one of those carriage road bridges that is historic has one of these large waterfalls off to the side, and so we decided to take a closer look.
Stop! That's where we met the park ranger.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, this is the first year they allowed e-bikes, and so a park ranger took real notice of us. Well, I mean, how can you miss 4 people on electric bikes, orange and black and white? So, you know, we were bound to have that happen. This was a park ranger that is the bike patrol. He's a volunteer, and one of his jobs is to make sure people are adhering to the rules, and that's one of the reasons we stuck to the rules. So if you're going to ride an e-bike in Acadia, make sure you stick to the rules and you're courteous with other people. He was totally cool about it, though.
Absolutely was.
You know, it was amazing to just sit and chat with him for a little while about why they're regulating the e-bikes the way they are, about how people are riding so inconsiderately. They're going way too fast and coming up on hikers and other bikers in a way that's just unsafe. So
he even asked if he could take a picture of the kids on their e-bikes that he could send to his daughter.
Yeah, because he wants his daughter to get e-bikes, and you know, she didn't think it was safe, and I told him how we could speed limit them and all that kind of stuff. So he was really interested in it, and it was cool. Maybe he was taking reconnaissance. I don't know. But it was fun. It was nice to meet him, and they were very nice to us. Now the parking people, not as much nice.
Right.
Details are in the blog, but we got a ticket. We got out of it, but we got a ticket. We wrapped up at Acadia, the bike day, and went to Atlantic Brewing Company, which is a great little brewery just outside of Acadia. Well, not too far from Acadia anyway. It's on the road from Belfast to Acadia.
We were ravenous.
Yeah, I was starving. It was a long morning and day of biking around.
Right.
And a lot of people say e-bikes aren't an exercise, but
I'll tell you,
that was exercise.
We did.
Yeah, pedal assist is not the same as what people think.
Well, and we were all uphill, so that.
Yeah.
But we got there, and Brennan took a look at the menu, and we were initially planning on each ordering whatever. Yeah. And Brennan looked at the menu and said, we need to get the max plate. I don't even remember
what it was. The barbecue max plate, yeah.
And it said feeds 4 people. That fed 30 people. I don't even know.
I think it meant it fed 4 lumberjacks.
Right.
Yeah, it was 4 lumberjacks who are going to go out and cut down 75 more trees, apparently, because that was a lot of food.
A ton of food.
Yeah.
Which one is that?
That's the New Guy IPA, and you have the Islander.
Now I have the New Guy.
Yeah, I have the Islander now.
Ooh. Ooh. I like them both.
I do too.
Which one is this one again?
That's
New
the
Guy?
Islander.
This
is the New Guy.
Okay.
Oh.
Me too.
I'll eat all the beans.
This is the max plate. Holy cow.
It's literally a cow, I guess.
It is literally a cow.
The pork.
Good job. But we had the beers, we had the foods. It was excellent, and I'll tell you, if I was to go back, I would go back to that place and probably order the same thing again, which isn't typical for us. We normally try something new each time we go to a place, but I would go back and order just that again and enjoy it. A couple of the beers were great. We grabbed a bunch and brought them back with us. So day 2 of Acadia was hiking. So we biked on day 1, we hiked on day 2. We hiked Schoodic Point. Schoodic Point, if you look at a map of Acadia, it looks like it's just kind of a little bit to the east of it. It's a good ways to the east. It's a little bit farther drive, and just kind of the geography there, the way the bays and the waterway comes in. It is worth the drive up there, though. And really the only way to see it is to get out of the car and go look at it. You can see it from the car. There's a lot of scenery from the car at Schoodic Point. The roadway is a one-way loop that comes down and then drops around and comes back up. And then you kind of pull off to one side and you can hike an area. And one of the areas we decided to stop at was right next to a Raven's Nest hike. We didn't do the Raven's Nest hike because we couldn't find the actual trailhead.
Neither could Less Junk More Journey, I think. Yeah,
Less Junk More Journey. If you follow them, you would have seen that. They had the same issue. They just couldn't stop at the right spot and didn't see the trailhead. So we missed that. Not really a problem because the opposite side of the road had just as much beauty in it. I mean, it was unbelievable.
Thank goodness there weren't that many people there, because I was asking him to stop the car probably every 25 yards. There was something new to see or experience or get out and photograph. It was incredible, and the kids were blown away by the coastline.
Yeah, the rocky coastline there, we had just the right wind and swell coming from the right direction that the waves were just crashing all around us.
It was incredible.
It was amazing. And they were totally enamored with these little intertidal pools that would have just like a bunch of algae and a bunch of crabs and stuff in them. So they would just lay on the rocks and stare at these things. It was great. A lot of growth, a lot of amazing fun to be had there that you don't even pay for.
Right, a lot of marine life to experience.
Yeah, then we moved on to the main Schoodic Point portion of it. And that is just a vast area where people go to watch the sunrise.
We wanted to watch the sunrise, but every morning was foggy and overcast, and we decided that sleep was more important than hoping that the fog would dissipate by then.
Yeah, again, tag back to Less Junk, More Journey. They had the same experience, and you know, we wanted to do it again, but we also didn't want to sit there in the fog. So thanks for that lesson, guys. 4th of July in Maine, big fireworks display.
Not so much. Not even one firework.
No, we heard them in the distance. I'm sure there was a siren right after that, someone going to stop them. But in any case, no, there were no fireworks in Maine this year. This was an unprecedented year. So what did we decide to do? We went charter fishing.
Yes. We met with Captain Sarge at Island Cruises, who could not have been more perfect. This was my first charter fishing trip, and it was an absolutely perfect experience. He was amazing with the kids. He had grown up on a lobster boat, lobstering in his family line or something. It was
great.
He was so informative and so friendly and so helpful, and we learned all about the harbor, the life in the harbor. Our Island Cruises, and just a quick tangent, Island Cruises does different harbor tours, informational whale watching, seal finding tours. We chose to do a charter tour, and we got to do whatever we wanted to do. So we chose fishing, and this was our first charter fishing experience as a family.
Yeah, it was great. The ride out was really foggy, so you couldn't see super far, which almost added to the awesomeness of it.
Yes.
Because we would get to a certain point and the fog would lift and be revealing a bunch of stuff to us.
Yeah, we had a couple of porpoises that were following the boat for a little while.
Yeah, we had harbor porpoises. We saw seals, harbor seals. And then there was a bunch of fish pens where they farm fish there.
I don't know what I envisioned farming fish to look like, but it was definitely not that.
Yeah, it's an interesting operation for sure.
You're doing so great.
As far as I can go.
Look at this.
Look at that.
Look at this one. Here, put that down. Oh, there you go.
Wait, where should I put it?
Hold that. Hold that.
No, that's not fair.
Look at that.
Oh, look at him.
That's amazing.
Go over the top, bud. Show them off.
Let me see, baby.
We got a fish.
Good job. Show Daddy.
That is huge.
We got some color.
Look at that. Look at that. Looks like a cod, huh?
Nice cod.
Yeah.
So just lower the down.
Hang on, Brendan. Yeah, listen up. I'm on it. We can't do a whole lot with it because we can't keep this guy.
And this is a small one, but good fight.
Yeah.
Good job,
It was
man.
fun, huh?
That was amazing.
We're looking for big ones of those.
Look at that.
You guys are
looking.
Atlantic
That's what we're
cod.
trying to catch.
See it, bud? Look at the
big
color
mouth.
on that guy.
They
Nice
like
and
to eat
pink.
lobsters and crabs. They got a big mouth. They got lots of teeth, but they're small.
Can I touch him?
Yeah, absolutely. You can hold them if you want to.
Oh,
I got
no,
these.
I'm not that far into it.
There you go.
Here you go. Good job, man.
Here, look over here, bud. Look at them.
They got cool colors on them.
Yeah, he's got some teeth.
Yeah, they get to about 20 inches, so this is a decent size one actually.
Keep going, baby.
Ooh!
Look at that.
Look at that fish.
Got a little bigger one.
That's a good sized cod.
Oh my gosh!
6 or 7 pounds.
Wow. Good job, Brennan.
Dad, have you ever caught
Look at
something
that.
that big?
I've never caught a cod that big.
Look, he's got a crab right in his mouth. You can
Oh
see
my
the crab.
gosh.
See
Oh,
that
he's
down
eating a
there?
crab!
He's got a
That's
crab
so
right in there.
cool.
Come on over, man.
Whoa!
Look at that. Crab.
What is this?
It was so fun. You know, when you think about the memories that you're building with your children or your family or your loved ones, these memories are keepers. And the whole time, just watching the kids reel up the fish they were catching, I just kept thinking, these are those keeper memories for the kids. That
they're my Alzheimer's maintenance.
Right.
Yeah, so if I get into Alzheimer's, I can just go back and watch YouTube, but someone's got to remind me to watch YouTube.
Sarge recommended a lobster pound, but it was closed on the 4th of July, so we headed over to Beals because we'd heard good things about it.
Yeah.
And it happened to be right at the same exact spot as a Coast Guard base, so.
Yeah, Coast Guard's sector field office in Southwest Harbor.
Semper Paratus!
I wish I could get stationed there. That'd be a great spot.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I would be fulfilled at that point, at least for 6 months out of the year. Right. And then the other 6 months might
You'd be frozen,
yeah.
Right?
Well, there wouldn't be much coast guarding to do, I guess. So we rode into Belfast on the side of the road there and hit the rail trail from there. And then after that, we came in and hit Front Street Pub.
So we just rode our bikes along the Belfast rail trail.
Yep.
And it was 2.5 miles?
Yeah, it's like 2.3 miles out, and then you turn around and come back. And then if you include the ride up from the campground, I mean, it was pretty near 4 miles all the way out.
Yeah, I think that was lovely. We crossed 3 or 4 bridges, 4 bridges.
Well, it was 2 bridges, but then there were like kind of cliff areas that had railings that kind of resembled a bridge. But yeah, it was breathtaking scenery.
And then we ended at a railroad with rail cars, which was super neat.
Yeah, they have some of the old rail cars that were on that rail line, I guess, and they just kind of set them up, mostly cabooses and stuff like that. The whole train station was there too, and you got the ticket booths. It looks like they're restoring part of it to make it kind of a museum. That rail trail was phenomenally constructed. I mean, they packed it perfectly with the gravel, and we were able to fly the drone right off of the ground and everything. Didn't have to find a special spot.
There weren't too many people. I'd say a handful of joggers, a handful of bicyclists, and coming off the rail trail and coming back into Belfast, we were able to take the harbor walk straight to our new favorite place, which is the Front Street Pub. Is that where we are? Front Street Pub?
Yes.
And we had a great lunch at Front Street Pub. We enjoyed the fish and chips at Front Street Pub in Belfast so much we went there a couple of times to have it. I consider it's one of my favorites.
I think so. And the Fiddlebacks, which are like their version of okra, they're crazy looking and tangy.
Yeah, it looks like something out of a Dr. Seuss movie.
It does.
And they plucked it and then fried it.
Yes.
Yeah, totally did. Yeah, it was excellent though.
Oh, Ontario.
Perfect.
Having a drinking problem.
That's my funny thing. What did you get?
A Lone Pine IPA.
We went to Perry's Nut House and Bennett's Gem Shop. They share the same building. And Maine tourmaline is mined.
Was
mined, that's right. I got the entire history lesson of Maine tourmaline from Bennett's Gem Shop.
Yeah.
Gem Shop. It is beautiful. So if you love fudge and tchotchkes, we got a couple of Maine sweatshirts from Perry's Nut House, and then some pretty tourmaline gemstones because the boy's birthstone is tourmaline. Go there. Definitely pin those places to your map.
And then went back to the campground. We took the scenic route just to enjoy the last bit of scenery before we got back, and packed up and headed home.
Well,
it was a sad evening, that's for sure.
I don't know what to say about that.
We spent the evening saying goodbye to the ocean and the shoreline, and we enjoyed one last kind of rainy. It was kind of a rainy evening.
It was like a thunderstorm day. Finley had flown a kite on the shoreline the day before, and it immediately, well, I'd say 15 minutes.
Yeah, he got 15 minutes of kite flying in.
15 solid minutes in before it flew directly into the tree above our camper.
Yeah.
And we spent the last day that it was a horrific storm. It was very windy.
A lot of wind.
We had bets on whether or not that kite was going to get dislodged from that tree. It never did. So I'm curious how long it's going to be there before it loosens up and falls to the ground.
That's right. We did one more thing before we left. It was before the rain came in. We went to Stone Fox Farm. It's a direct dairy place that makes ice cream. Actually, the boys picked the place out. They found their own pin, and they went on Google, found an ice cream shop locally and then said, we want to buy Mom ice cream for her birthday.
And they did. They brought their wallets and bought me ice cream. And it was creamy and delicious.
Yeah, it was. It was some great ice cream. So if you
Good job, boys.
If you get a chance, put that pin on your map. Well, we had to say goodbye to Maine at that point.
I didn't say goodbye to Maine.
Yeah, well, until later. Yeah,
right.
We said we'll see you later. The departure was somber. The land wept. It rained like crazy that evening.
It did.
We did get packed up safely though, and we wish we were still there, obviously.
Yes.
And we got to watch the tide go out one more time and come back in, and we departed the next day. And
on the way out, Chad and Tara came out and said goodbye as we drove by, which was very sweet. Thank you so much. And then we made our way down to Massachusetts.
Yeah, we stayed in Massachusetts on a farm, a dairy farm.
Right, it was a Harvest Host.
Yeah, and through Harvest Host, and we were out in a field, a giant field, way up on a knoll, is what he calls it.
He called it a knoll.
He called it a knoll. That was interesting.
It was.
Yep. Got some good footage of that one, and they got a chance to go try the dairy products that they sell there, and just kind of see the area.
There was supposed to be, there is a brewery there that is typically open, but we did not make it in time to participate.
Well, they were closed that day.
Right, but their ice cream shop was open, and we had, I don't remember what we had. I had one with honey in it, and it was the most delicious thing I think I've ever eaten.
I had chocolate as usual.
Stone Cow.
Yeah.
That's where we went.
Yep, Stone Cow. That was excellent. And we had the most horrific thunderstorm roll through with lightning and everything else, and we are the tallest thing in the field.
In the knoll.
Yeah. Yeah, it was amazing.
On the knoll. In the knoll. I don't know, but we were a little worried.
Yeah, we were in the scared. That's what we were.
We were.
Yeah, so there was lightning all around and wind and rain and all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of sat in the trailer and slept the best we could.
Right.
And then pulled out the next day. We were thankful that the field there is very hard packed.
It
so
is.
We weren't in the mud. That's what I was worried about.
Right.
An F450 and mud don't mix. So. Yeah.
Right. No, we made it out just fine. And then we were home a few hours later.
Yeah, it was a pretty quick ride home.
It was, and that was our entire Maine trip.
Yep, sad to be back. Can't wait to return.
Two things real quick. I mentioned it earlier, but definitely double check the blog, which is at hoppinandgo.com. We have a lot more details on some of these places that we visited. And also, RV Sticker Club on Instagram, they do sticker swaps. And we have stickers. So if you are interested in a Hop Pin and Go sticker, join RV Sticker Club and DM me, and we'll get you a sticker.
Yep. All right, so that was the end of our trip, and thanks for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe to follow all of our adventures. We have our next adventure coming up in a little while. We have Solomons, Maryland. We're going to stay over at a Navy base there and meet up with my sister and brother-in-law. They're going to sail with the boys to us, and it's going to be an adventure.
Thanks for watching.